I think he was physical with her.
Neighbor Robert Cecil says he watched the entire thing in real time. It was his house that Madden was trying to get into. He was at work, but his security system alerted him on his phone.
And immediately can see exactly what's going on, and I could hear her screaming for help. And it was a horrifying type scream.
Cecil has turned the footage over to detectives.
Saw them struggling around in the yard, her trying to get away from him. I called 911. 911 had already been called by all of the neighbors.
Tensions between Alteric and Ticara reached a terrible breaking point during a furious dispute. When Alteric attacked the lady he had once claimed to love with a machete out of rage, what had started out as a verbal argument swiftly turned violent. She was hurt, but she was desperate enough to get away and rush to her neighbor's safety. But before she could get to safety, Alteric shot her out of rage as she cried for assistance. The neighborhood was shocked by the terrible result of their fight, which exposed the fatal effects of unbridled violence and unresolved conflict. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Ticara's family and friends. Today's case takes us to Titusville. Titusville is a city located on the east coast of Florida, in Brevard County, near the Indian River Lagoon. The city has a population of around 47,000 residents. Titusville is known as the gateway to nature and space due to its proximity to Kennedy Space Center and Cape Canaveral, making it a key spot for viewing rocket launches. Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge Natural Reserve offers a variety of wildlife and outdoor activities, attracting nature lovers and tourists. Titusville played an important role in space exploration history and continues to be a hub for space-related activities. Ticara Madden Lamona, 21, had a radiant smile and was kind and compassionate. She cherished life and loved being with the people she cared about. Alteric Marquise Wanyan Johnson, 22, was the man Ticara was dating. Their relationship was characterized by frequent fights, jealousy, and emotional blackmail. Despite the toll it was taking on her, Ticara's loved ones encouraged her to go, but she was always coming up with an explanation, such as "he can change" or "I love him too much to give up." On the other side, Alteric was just as connected. He was an enraged man, yet he loved Madden, and he couldn't imagine living without her. He would always claim that their arguments were finished, only to return later to apologize and make bigger promises. Even though they were certain they couldn't live apart, their splits never lasted more than a few days before they reconciled. She never left Johnson, despite his run-ins with the law and his frequent assaults on her. Even though Ticara Madden's friends and relatives tried to persuade her to quit the connection, she would sadly pass away. According to police, authorities were called to Willow Street at 11:15 p.m., where they saw Johnson chasing the victim, Ticara Madden, and then shooting Madden, according to the police arrest affidavit. Johnson then fled from cops, leaping a fence into the back of a store, until being apprehended in the Whispering Pines mobile home park, just south of the incident scene. While officers chased the suspect, 2 officers stayed with the victim and applied a tourniquet until EMS arrived, stated Titusville Police Department Commander Matt Dimon. With life-threatening injuries, the victim was airlifted to Parrish Medical Center by ground. According to the police affidavit, Madden's most serious injuries included a partially amputated hand and a serious gunshot wound to the back of the skull. Medical personnel informed police that Madden had been attacked with a cutting object and shot with a firearm. According to police, Madden was caught on security camera yelling the suspect's name and begging for her life. Alteric Johnson was arrested for attempted murder. Johnson had previously been charged with domestic battery by strangulation and sexual violence. Investigators discovered that the incident began with an argument between the pair at Johnson's house, during which Johnson nearly severed Madden's right hand, according to the state attorney's office. Her death was deemed a homicide by the Brevard County Medical Examiner. The medical examiner, a Titusville police detective, and a crime scene investigator all testified before the grand jury returned with the indictment, according to the state attorney's office. Johnson attacked her with a machete before police arrived, so she ran to a neighbor's home. According to a statement from the police, Alteric Johnson, 22, was apprehended close to a house on the 300 block of Willow Street in Titusville after they observed him discharging a rifle at Tycara Madden, 21, of Titusville. Alteric Johnson, 22, has been charged with first-degree premeditated murder by a Brevard grand jury in connection with the death of his girlfriend Tycara Madden, 21.
In Brevard County tonight, brand new, more serious charges in a violent attack.
A man is now charged with first-degree murder after Titusville police say he attacked his girlfriend with a machete and then shot her with a rifle when she tried to run. West 2's Scott Heidler is live for us tonight at the Titusville Police Department. And Scott, this happened last week, but detectives tell you that there's been a development?
Yes, police here announcing that they have amended those charges from that brutal attack last Thursday because the victim, who was slashed and shot, died from her severe wounds. 22-year-old Alteric Johnson brutally attacked his girlfriend, Tycara Madden, late Thursday night, according to police. In the Titusville police report, officers responded to a domestic incident call. On arrival, they witnessed Johnson with a rifle chasing Madden. She was covered in blood trying to get into a neighbor's house, and according to the affidavit, the officers saw him shoot Madden. Police say Johnson dropped his rifle and ran, but was quickly apprehended by officers.
I think he was physical with her.
Neighbor Robert Cecil says he watched the entire thing in real time. It was his house that Madden was trying to get into. He was at work, but his security system alerted him on his phone.
And immediately can see exactly what's going on, and I could hear her screaming for help. And it was a horrifying type scream.
Cecil has turned the footage over to detectives.
Saw them struggling around in the yard, her trying to get away from him. I called 911. 911 had already been called by all of the neighbors.
According to the preliminary investigation, before the shooting, Johnson attacked Madden with a machete, slashing her. She was initially transported with what police described as severe, sharp-edged weapon wounds and a gunshot wound to the head. We spoke briefly to the victim's sister. She didn't want to be identified.
I just want to tell my sister that I love her and I'm sorry this happened to you. We will miss you very much.
It's not known when Johnson will appear in front of a judge. Reporting live in Titusville, Scott Heidler, West 2 News.
Additionally, it was stated that Johnson had a criminal past and had assaulted Madden as well as several other women. Although Tycara had hoped that he would change, he did not. Early detection of indicators of domestic violence and leaving a relationship before things get out of control are crucial. It is essential that we take what we can from other people's experiences and use it in our own life to stay safe as we hear stories like this. Madden died in the most painful way, and her friends and family will need time to heal. Johnson has not yet received a sentence, but we hope Tycara's family receives the justice they are due for her untimely death. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.